Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So today I'm bringing you the video of the card that I made for the Stamping Dreams blog hop, and I had a Christmas theme, and I was just sitting down to think, what should I make? And this arrived. So you've probably seen lots and lots of unboxings of this, and lots of people make the cards. So I'm going to do some alternatives. I thought I'd just quickly show you what's in it. So Paper Pumpkin is a subscription that runs in North America and parts of Canada, and in the UK we don't have it, but this is, I think, the third one that has been released, the second one this year, and they're £20 plus the P&P, and they have everything you need. They're like an all-inclusive kit. So you get an ink spot, and each one usually has a different colour. This one's Just Jade, really handy to have. I do have a large Just Jade, so I won't open that. That will go in my little pot of things that I might give away. So this is the stamp sets. You always get a stamp set. It's an exclusive stamp set to the Paper Pumpkin, and it kind of complements other sets that we have in the catalogue as well. There's a lovely wreath, a nice big joy. You've got To the World to go with that, which is the name of the kit, Joy to the World. We've got Sending, so that could be Sending Joy. To You and Yours, Joy to You and Yours. And then you've got Wishing You a Very Happy Christmas. And then you've got Filled with Fun and Laughter. And we have, oh, lovely Merry Christmas. I love that. Main reason why I bought the kit, because it was like, I really love that Merry Christmas. That's going on a lot of cards. So once you've made all the cards in the kit, you've still got this, and you've still got your ink pad. One thing that, the only thing you need in this kit would be an ink, a block for mounting the stamps. Normally when you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin in the US, your first subscription will come with one of these, and then after that they don't come with them. So as ours are just like one-offs, we don't get them. So you get instructions. So you make 2 different designs, but 4 of each, and so you get everything that you need. And there is the instructions. They're quite simple and easy to follow. There are some suggestions on the back for some alternatives that you could make. There will be some bits left over from it, so you will have an extra wreath and some extra words and some extra flowers that you can use for other projects. You have a nice little flyer, and what's nice is we've got some translations here, because this is got words in it from English, French and German. And whereas I kind of knew the French, I knew what Libras, but I didn't know the Peace and Joy in German. And it's really useful because I am going to be sending, well, 1 Christmas card to Germany. So that was useful. So we have our card blanks. So they are, I'm sure they're American size card blanks, aren't they? So they are, oh no, they're just shy of 6. So they are our size. Ah, they thought of us. I thought they'd be, because in the US, the card stock is a different size. So their cards are usually 5.5 by 4.25, whereas ours are 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, and that is exactly what they are. So a normal C6 card. So you get 4 blanks where this sort of lovely gold, sort of almost stitching, goes that way, and 4 where they go that way. And this is, I think, crumb cake. I haven't actually checked. I've seen so many people open these and then we'll go, I think that's crumb cake, but I've not actually checked. So nice cards. We have the adhesive, so you've got some glue dots there. You just peel off. A strip of dimensionals, always handy. I'll probably keep them intact for the moment. I've got loads on the go. I don't want to open any more. You get 8 envelopes, and one thing I know about Stampin' Up! Envelopes is they are incredibly good quality, and these are no different. And what's lovely is they're lined. Really, really beautiful. going to use that as opposed to keep it as an envelope. And then you've got all your die cuts. So you've got 4 of these embossed rectangles with like, it's almost like Argyle Aran print on them. So they're nice. So they're rectangle, and then you've got 4 squares. And then you've got your die cut labels. So you've got 4 large and 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you got 5 little, so you've got to spare one of them. And they're stitched, which is lovely. And here you've got the wreath and the 2 flowers, and you've got a spare strip. So you've got 5 strips of this, but you only need 4 if you were just following the instructions. So you've got some left over. And there you've got these die cuts. You've got 2 sets of these die cuts. So you've got these the foil, these banners, and then you've got the different words, and you've got them in the 3 languages. So you've got love there in the 3 languages. Libre, I've probably pronounced that terribly. Love and amour. And then you've got joy, and then you've got the French for joy, and you've got the German for joy. I'm not even going to attempt. And peace. And again, you've got those in the 3 languages. And so you've got you'll have them left over as well. You've got more than you need to make the cards, which is lovely. And if you're like me, you've got all these little gold bits in between, which I would make use of as well, because I don't like to throw anything away. And then lastly, you've got a bit of twine. This is cherry cobbler twine, love twine. So that's really, really nice. So yeah, so I am not going to make the cards as per the instructions. I'm going to come up with an alternative, and one of the things that I want to do in my alternative is to use the inside of the envelope, because it's too pretty not to. So I'm just gonna carefully, if I take my snips and carefully go down there. There, so it's just on the back bit. I wasn't sure how far down it went, so I just rip this now. Now I know. I'm not going to be that precious now about it. So we've got, well done, all that careful, and then I go and rip the corner. What a berg. So that's really nice. So this has got all those words again. So the love, peace and joy in all the languages there. So I think that would be quite good on a card. So I am gonna cut that down. And this is nice quality as well. Won't be chucking that. I might actually just use that to stamp all the images so I can see them and you can see them. So you don't of course have to do this. You can use the envelopes, they are beautiful. But I just want to take that down so I can see what I've got to play with. So that could be one strip on its own up there. I'm not going to cut actually on the crease. Cut just one side of it. So there, we've got a nice little strip there. And we've got a nice sort of rectangle there that we could use that I've managed to fluff up at the end. So let's get the stamps stamped so you can see all of the stamps. So I'm just going to speed up to do that. Okay, so I probably could do with a stamp mat, although I've got my grid pad here. Some of these probably could do with a stamp mat, but love that, love that. I might do some colouring on that. And that's really, I love the font. Love this. Right, so I was kind of like looking at that. I always find that helps in my inspiration if I can see it actually stamped, which is why I always stamp all my stamps when I get them. So I want to stamp the wreath because I want to fussy cut it, and I want a bit of Whisper White, which I thought I had here. Oh yes, there's one. So I thought, I'm sure I can fussy cut that, and I'm not a lover of fussy cutting, I have to say. So, and actually, although Just Jade is in the kit, I like Shaded Spruce, and I think Shaded Spruce goes really well with Cherry Cobbler as a lovely Christmas colour. So I'm going off-piste, but that is the point, is that I'm doing some alternatives. I'm going to get my stamp mat and I'm going to stamp that down. Beautiful. Yes, a little stamp mat is what was required. And then I'm going to get some Winker Stella and I'm going to paint these leaves, and it just moves some of that paint, the ink, so it fills in those leaves, and we'll add glitter. Doing this without my glasses, which is silly, so I'm going to put them on. Going to put them on now. So yeah, so that moves some of that ink to fill it up. We had a Pootler event online, and this was one of the techniques that Sam was showing us. I mean, I've done it before, but she sent us all a Winker Stella so that we could all do this. I think most of us had a Winker Stella already. And I had just shown this to, I went on a crafting weekend, Halloween weekend, just before lockdown. And I was showing this to the attendees that were there. And they were like, that's definitely going in my basket. Because it is lovely effect. And I've got one, the one I had previous to this that got emptied. I added some alcohol to it, so I should have all sorts of effects. Now there was enough left over to do that. So let me show you that. Can you see? Don't know. It seems quite dark. I hope it isn't dark. I've got loads of light down here, so I don't understand why it would be dark. But can you see that glittery? I hope so. So now I'm going to fussy cut. So get my snips, get my glasses, and I'm going to fussy cut this wreath. So let's get in. So we move the paper, not the scissors. so that even when your die cuts are gone, you could still quite easily get yourself a little wreath. So I think that's I've got no idea if that's in shot there. So I think that's pretty all right. And I wanted as well to stamp the joy and fussy cut that as well. Oh, I just want to clean that before I do something stupid. So gonna stamp the joy in. I've got this as an offcut. Will it fit on there? Yes. In the cherry cobbler. Whilst I've got the ink out, I've got a little offcut here. I'm going to stamp to the world. And then these will forever be stained now because I've done it in cherry cobbler, but it doesn't bother me in the least. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that up there, make it easier on myself, and then I'm going to cut the joy out. So there we go. And then what I was going to do with this, because it's got stitching in the kit, I thought, oh, I quite like that effect. So we've got this little stitch die here, so I'm gonna cut it out of that. I have got enough room on there, yeah, haven't I? Cut it out with that, and then you can shorten it by then moving the die that way. So I'm gonna get that cut out. So that's that cut. Love it. So we've got our joy to the world. So now let's start getting this card put together. Put my die away before I lose that one. So I got myself a cherry cobbler even card base, and I've cut a Whisper White matte, and then I've already embossed it in this textile one. I never remember what it's called, but I love it. So I thought that'd be cool, and then I'm going to cut this down to go across, and then I thought I'd just layer it up, a bit like a wreath on a front door, really, was my thoughts. Love it. I just think it's a really nice colour. Right, so actually I'm going to use, I was just going to bring in my little guillotine, but I'm going to use this so that I get the right size here. So I'm just going to cut that bit down there, and then I've got that there at 3 7/8, which is the width of the card mat. So I'll take that off. Oh, got a little bit there I could still use. I might just trim that little bit off there. So that's like 2.5 inch strip. That just neatens it up a little bit. Super. So gonna stick that across there. So where's my tombow? Could use stamp and seal, but I can't see it. So I'll use the tombow. I'm going to use grid mat here to help me get it straight. Super. Stick this on the card. I had cut a Whisper White mat for the inside, and then I used it to stamp the wreath, so I need to cut another one of those. Thought I had one ready cut, waiting to be used, but I can't see it. And then I might stick these up on dimensionals. You get dimensionals in the pack and you'll have plenty left over after you've made your cards. Possibly don't need 4 on this, but I've done it now. Oh, I was going to put red berries on this. A bit late now, I've put dimensionals on. So, he's not going to have red berries on it. So, centre that over there. We're going to have joy unto the world, and all I'm deciding is where I want the to the world. Could do it that way. Like it like that. So I don't want to stick any more dimensionals on, but what I might do is stick a bit of one on the centre of that joy. There we go. And then I might have a little bit on the end here to hold that in place. Cut it off, but the end didn't come off. There we go. I've got that there. Stick that down. And I might just stick a bit of the twine on. I quite like the look of that. Now I'm going to find it in the box. There it is. Might just do a little bow. I do love a little twine bow. Let's have a little play with where I think it might go. Faff, 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 Jez. Not sure that it needs it. Yeah, if I cut these tails a little bit. Make that a tad smaller. And get a glue dot. There's my little pokey. Roll up my glue dot. Yeah, not convinced by that bow. But there we go. So we've got a little bit of glitter there on the leaves. And that is my first alternative. I will probably do some stamping on the inside. When I cut myself a mat. So I'll get that ready when I prep for my other alternative. Okay, so I cut myself some blanks there to go in the inside, and we've got this lovely sentiment, so I thought I'm going to stamp it. I don't often stamp on the inside of cards, but I really like this saying, this sentiment, so lining that up on my grid mat. Actually, I want to put it on my stamp mat, so this is a Stamping Up stamp mat, but I cover it in grid paper so that when I can stamp off and it's not gonna transfer onto the mat and then transfer onto whatever I'm stamping. And it also allows me to keep things straight. Wonderful. So it is so much better with a stamp mat underneath it. Love it, love it, love it. So that's that, ready to just finish off that card. And then I'm going to do something that may actually freak some people out. But I do this quite often. So it doesn't bother me. And what I'm going to do is cut that sentiment up. I know, tools not jewels. And I think we can get a lot of mileage out of the words on here. And I know you can mask off stamps, so you could do that if you really wanted to. Look, how super is that? Love it. But sometimes I might not want to say filled with fun and laughter. I might just want to say wishing you a happy Christmas. So I'm going to take my stamp. I'm going to take my long scissors and my glasses, and I am snipping I've snipped it. Okay, now even though I've snipped it off, if I wanted it back on together, I can easily place that together and it will still stamp there is no problem. I will demonstrate that to you now. Let me get some scrap paper. Don't want to waste cardstock on demonstrating this. Right, got some paper. Let me show you. You have to be careful that you don't snip into a word. But there you go. You'd never know. That is no different than that one there. Okay, and now I'm gonna take it off, take off that bottom bit, and then we've got the option of wishing you a very happy Christmas, which I love. More likely to use that. You could go further and cut the happy Christmas. I like that as well. And on this, I'm going to do one more snip. Oh no, one more snip. Soz, but this is just how I roll. So I'm tucking this off. One more. So you can still see where they join up. You can follow your cut line and it will still go on there, as will that. Goes on there just the same, but what I actually want to do, take these off, and let me find I am making my own sentiment up. There we go. How cool's that? Sending fun and laughter to you and yours. You could just have sending fun and laughter, but those were the thoughts that I had that you can do with playing around with those sentiments. Love that idea. So hope that's making you think, "Ooh, it's a bit," but yeah, she's right. You can get a lot more out of things by doing that. So yeah, so that was my ideas, and I would be inclined to cut that Happy Christmas out as well. That is how I roll. Okay, so that was just one of my thoughts that I had there for that. Now, what I want to do for this is I thought I can use that, make that 2 panels. So I effectively got 3 panels out of the card. So I'm going to just slice this bit off there because I can still see the crease. So straighten that up. And down there where I went slightly wrong. So we get that off. So that's lovely. And then what have we got here? So it's 5.5. So if we go to 2 3/4, that's it sliced down the middle. So I've got 2 quite nice sizes there for a panel on a card. Not really thought much about what I'm doing beyond that, but there we've got a cherry cobbler. Let's bring in another Whisper White panel. Let's bring in that. That's quite a nice little panel. Or I could cut this down and make that as a smaller panel on the inside, and I could do some stamping around the outside and have a wreath in the centre there. Could do that. We have a spare wreath in the kit. That might be quite nice, a bit of tone on tone stamping on here. Could do the flower. Could do the flower around, and then actually I could put the flower on top of that. Ooh, cooking on gas. So that's them fussy cut out, and I did one fussy cut, and then I used the stitched rectangle dies to cut these out, and I decided I'd put backing on, and then I thought we'll have a play with how sort of things look, and I kind of was thinking that we might have flowers going that way. So we've got a bit of a Merry Christmas going on there. And then I thought of that way. Feel how that looks. I felt it needed a bit more green. So I thought we could do it like that, and I thought that made it look a little bit more festive, a bit more green on there. And I was trying to decide whether or not I'd put a bit of twine or something on it, but then I thought, no, I think that works. I think that works. We've got them then for other alternatives. Okay, so I've had a little play and this is what I've come up with. So I've used the just stamping the leaf bit of the flower sort of round in a square like that, and I've trimmed these down so that it can be a mat this way on the card. Stamped and fussy cut another wreath, got that Merry Christmas, and I thought that would poke in there quite nicely, and then just put a little red bow on there. They were my thoughts, and I'm tempted to chop a little bit off there. I think I'm making it sort of like a square card. So I'll get this lot all stuck down. So there we have our 3 alternative cards using the Joy to the World set, complete with lovely sentiments on the inside, which again are alternatives. So yeah, hope you like that. Hope you go and have a look at the blog hop, and I'll come back with some more alternatives, maybe using some of the elements in the kit other than the stamp set and the envelopes. So that's 3 cards using one of the envelopes and the stamp sets. So all the details over on my blog, and where you can also go and visit my shop and buy this absolutely wonderful kit as well. While stocks last, they're going ever so fast, so if you want it, you better order it. Okay, bye for now.